Hey there, welcome to the Chronicle Pregame Show. I'm Ryan Hoerger alongside Brian Pollack talking some Duke women's basketball. Number 14 Blue Devils have a big game on Sunday, traveling down to number 2 South Carolina. They're going to tip it off at 2 p.m. down in Columbia. And Brian, this is a rematch of last year's game. It was a thriller here in Durham. South Carolina stormed back, ended up winning 51-50. Really turned over the story of that game for Duke. They had it won, they had a significant lead, but they couldn't hold on down the stretch.
Absolutely. The Blue Devils were up four with less than 20 seconds to go and then crumbled away. A couple of turnovers. And South Carolina eventually won on a putback with 1.8 seconds left. They missed the initial game-winning shot, and then AJ Wilson picked up the rebound and tossed it in to give them the win in Cameron Indoor Stadium. And that was a crushing defeat for the Blue Devils. Their third in a row really sent them on a skid to begin the year. So you can be sure that Duke's going to want to get some revenge there, but there's a lot of familiarity on both sides.
Yeah, definitely. Azurá Stevens for Duke, the star sophomore. She played overseas this summer, Team USA, the U19 World Championship in Russia. And her coach for that tournament was South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley. And also on that team was South Carolina star forward Asia Wilson, who made that putback, like you said, Brian. So a lot of familiarity between those two. Wilson's 6'5", can really do it all inside. Stevens at 6'6" is really a versatile player, can move inside and outside at will. I talked to Coach Staley on Friday, actually, and she said that really the defining characteristic of both players is that they've improved in their toughness. They both had standout freshman years where they both matured, and international experience really helped them develop other aspects of their game and become tougher players. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup kind of plays out on Sunday. Other things to look at, Brian, this is a South Carolina team that likes to play a lot of defensive pressure. Duke had 22 turnovers in that game on Sunday. Sorry, excuse me, 22 games in that game last season in Durham. So we might see some more defensive pressure on Sunday, considering that the Blue Devils have a really young backcourt.
Absolutely, and turnovers were a huge issue for Duke last year, but I think they've kind of curbed those problems a little bit this year. Freshman point guard Angela Salvador is really stepping in nicely, starting to assume more of the traditional point guard role. She's eased into the starting lineup the past 4 or 5 games, picked up 31 assists in her past 5 games. That's a top mark in the ACC over that stretch. 11 points and 8 assists in Thursday's win against Minnesota. So she's really starting to look a lot more comfortable. And that's allowed sophomore Rebecca Greenwell, who kind of played point guard by default last year, really transition more off the ball. So she's getting her points, but also rebounds and assists as well, really becoming more of an all-around player. But it'll be interesting to see how Salvador handles that pressure. She's done well, but I don't think she's played a defense the caliber of what South Carolina is going to be able to throw at her. So seeing how she handles that along with the other Blue Devil freshman point guards, that could very well be the difference tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And Coach Staley said that you're probably going to see some defensive pressure from the Gamecocks, just not only to make Duke uncomfortable, but also for South Carolina to get some easy transition points. Duke has played a bit of man-to-man this year. Usually they like to play a 2-3 matchup zone, and South Carolina is really wary of that zone. They don't want to let Duke get it set up because it's pretty hard to crack once it's actually in play. So South Carolina can get some easy putbacks or an easy fast break opportunities. That's a really good start for the Gamecocks, try to get some transition points. So with that said, Duke and South Carolina, number 14 versus number 2 in the country, big showdown women's college basketball, Sunday at 2 p.m. from Columbia, South Carolina. For Brian Pollack, I'm Ryan Hoerger. We'll see you guys later.